With all the discussion about Occupy Wall Street lately, and then last year it was all about the Tea Party, I started thinking about whether or not it's time for us to have more than two parties. And I think a lot of people would agree that it's time. We have a junior high school dodgeball game going on in Washington, D.C. between the right and the left. Everyone afraid to stand in the middle because they're going to get hit in the crossfire. So, and it's, think of another analogy. It's like a light switch. It's either on or it's off. It's either left or right, hot or cold. In this political age, I think in the past it was quite possible to get things done because you had reasonable men and women that came to Washington for the achievement of a common goal, which was the betterment of the United States. And that's not why they're there anymore. It's personal ambition. It's to join the money train that because let's face it, I read recently it costs at least $1 million for a congressional seat for 2 years. Why would anyone do that? Raise $1 million to be in Washington for 2 years. Obviously, there's another benefit to it. So it's time for more than two voices to be heard. Now, I heard a couple of weeks ago, because you don't hear much about this at all on the cable or the major news networks, and the cable ones are major now too. They're just as big as the three traditional broadcast networks. But that in fact some legal machinations have occurred that would make it next to impossible for us to have more than two parties. Which is why you have Tea Partiers running on the Republican ticket, and you have independents running on either Republican or Democratic tickets, because that's the only way they have any shot of actually getting elected. Well, we could break that up. But the question is whether or not, certainly no one on Capitol Hill has the fortitude to attempt to do anything like that. I think they'd be immediately alienated, and it would be the end of their political career. So I think we ought to figure out how to do that. It's going to have to come from some other direction, I think, but we need more than just the two. Can you imagine if we had the Tea Party represented with, well, they've got a caucus of at least 40 people. Let's suppose we had Occupy Wall Street as a party, or the people in that group or with that philosophy represented in Congress, as well as a couple of others, you know, the pure libertarians, etc. Wouldn't that be interesting? I think we could get a lot more things done, because you wouldn't have the left or the right, the leadership of those parties, saying you either toe the line with us or you're out in the cold. If there are 5 or 6 parties in Washington, inevitably there would have to be compromise, I think.